The young guns of today are tomorrow's future. Provide them with the right education and they will lead India to prosperity. Presenting Midday's Excellence in Education, an initiative acknowledging the efforts taken by educational institutions and professionals in shaping India's young minds. The platform honored those who have made their mark in molding young India and also brought together leading voices from this sector to discuss the changing trends in today's education system.
Education is that gift that no one can take away. We at Midday strongly believe in this. A paper that has been Mumbai's voice for almost 40 years, bringing the best in news and entertainment with varied information, empowering the city and its reader. So well, on that note, may I now have the pleasure of inviting on stage Mr. Sandeep Khosla, CEO, Midday Info Media Limited. Along with him, it also gives me immense pleasure to invite our chief guest for today evening, that is Ms. Priya Dutt to please join us on the stage.
I would like to thank Midday, Sandeep ji, for having me here today, and it's a privilege and an honor for me to be on this platform, especially to felicitate the educationists who are all present in this room. For me, I think education and health have been two pillars of a country, and I think if you strengthen those pillars, there is no way we can stop the progress of a country. But I think strengthening those pillars is the key and the most important for the future. I work very closely with many organizations and many schools to empower children from the low socioeconomic groups, because we want to ensure that the quality of education, where we are able to give that quality of education to a certain strata of society, we should be able to give that quality of education even to the children who cannot afford it. And that is our endeavor, to ensure that there should be a public school system which ensures basic quality education to the children everywhere. That is their right, and that is something which I think a country, a government, should have and take responsibility of. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to commence our felicitation ceremony. To begin with, it's now time to invite up on the stage NL Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research, inviting Dr. Kanti Mohan, Associate Professor, to be felicitated for excellence in B-School Education, Mumbai. It's time to move further. It's now time to invite on stage Mr. Praveen Tyagi, MD, and Mr. Sandeep Singhal, National Business Development Head from PACE IIT and Medical for Excellence in IIT and Medical Coaching. May we now have on stage Ms. Dipti Gore, Director from Acme Education, to come up on the stage for the category of Excellence in Foreign Language Education. It's now time to move on to Excellence in Innovation in International Curriculum, Mumbai, is Ms. Sagarika Bhatia, Principal, and Management Representative Ms. Visini Vilippan from RBK International School. All right, for Excellence in Motivation Speaking, may we please have Mr. Vivek Shetty, CEO, Indus Communications, on the stage. It's now time to felicitate from Atharva College of Engineering. Can we have up on the stage Dr. Bhavin Shah, Professor, and our next Professor, Samuel Jacob, for the category of Excellence in Engineering Education, Mumbai. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving further, it's now time to felicitate from the D.Y. Patil University School of Management, inviting Mrs. Taruna Maheshwari, CFO of Ajinkya D.Y. Patil Group, to kindly come up on the stage for Excellence in B-School Education, Navi Mumbai. And the next award goes to Arun Muchala International College of Hotel Management. May I request Mr. Arav Arun Muchala, Managing Director, to kindly step up on the stage for Excellence in Hotel Management Education, Thane and beyond. May I now invite on stage Mr. Hridayesh Deshpande, Director and Member of Governing Board of Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University from D.Y. Patil International School, Worldly for Excellence in International School Education, South Mumbai. And for our next category, that is Excellence in International School Education, Central Mumbai, may I now have the pleasure of inviting on stage Ms. Monica Sarang, Principal, Mr. Kishore Joshi, Vice Principal from RBK International Academy. And it's now time to invite Dr. Hoshi Bhivandiwala, Dean, Dr. Karna Upadhyay, Center Head, and Ms. Elena Zaveri of NIEM, the Institute of Event Management, for the category Excellence in Event Management. All right, it's now time to invite Ms. Melita Coutinho, Vice Principal, Ms. Shamashri Sen, Vice Principal again from Enel Dalmia High School for Excellence in Pedagogy, Mumbai. Now can we have on stage Mr. Rahul Sharma, MD, Ms. Sangeeta Sridhar, Head Placement, Ms. Aarti Singh, Senior Manager Sales, and Minal Sharma for Excellence in Travel and Tourism Education from EduGlobe School of Learning. It's now time to felicitate our next category, that is Excellence in Day Boarding and Boarding School Education, Maharashtra. Can we please have up on stage Mr. Rehan Mehta and Mr. Zishan Mehta from Praveshi International Academy. Now, may we please have on stage Mr. Gaurav Modwell, Chancellor, and Mr. Neil Shah, Program Director from Global Institute of Sports Business, to be felicitated for excellence in sports management education. It's now time to move further. It's now time to felicitate excellence in architecture studies, Mumbai category. And may I now have the pleasure of inviting on stage Mr. Aditya Mishra, Trustee of Aditya Group of Institution, Miss Architecture Rita Nayak, Principal of Aditya College of Architecture, and Mr. Vivek Singh, Deputy Director Marketing of Aditya Group of Institution from Aditya Group of Architecture. For our next felicitation, may we please have on stage Dr. Rajni Krishnaswamy, Director, Miss Rajni Patil, Headmistress from Dosti Foundation School for Excellence in Emerging Schools of the National Curriculum, Thane and beyond. And the next award goes to the Woman of Substance, Mrs. Grace Pinto from Ryan International Group of Institution for her visionary leadership in education sector. On her behalf, may I request Mr. Ryan Pinto, CEO of Ryan International Group of Education, to kindly come up on the stage and back the award. All right, for excellence in national curriculum, school, Thane and beyond, may I now invite Mr. Srijit Bhattacharya, Managing Director from New Horizons Scholars School, Thane. It's now time to invite on stage for excellence in preschool education and daycare, Mumbai, inviting Mr. Prasad Dhumal, CEO from Mindseed. All right, next, may we please have on stage Mr. Dolamani Sahu, Associate Vice President from ISB and M, to collect the felicitation for excellence in B School Education, Pune. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us another chief guest whom I would like to invite on the stage, film producer and director from Sri Krishna International Film, Mr. Sunil Darshan. May we please now have on stage Miss Melita Coutinho, Vice Principal, Miss Shamashri Sen, Vice Principal from Enel Dalmia High School for Excellence in National Curriculum School, Western Mumbai. now time to felicitate Excellence in Diverse and Holistic Curriculum Mumbai. May we request the principals and management representative of RBK Educational Institutions once again on the stage. Let's move further and invite on stage Ryan International School, Bavdan, inviting Mr. Ryan Pinto, CEO for Excellence in National Curriculum School, Pune. And we would also like to announce that Ryan International School has again bagged the award for Excellence in National Curriculum School, Mumbai as well. All right, it's now time to announce the fun side of a learning experience, inviting Mr. Tarandeep Singh, Marketing Director, and Mr. Nilesh Kurle, Head Group Sales from Kidzania for Excellence in Edutainment. All right, felicitate our next achievers are Santosh Joshi, Founder and CEO, Sonali Sawant, Founder and Head of Placements, and Abhay Chaudhary, Executive Director and Corporate Head from Bank Edge for Excellence in Banking Sector Training and Placement. For our next category, we would like to invite on stage Mr. Farooq Ghiwala, Managing Director from F. Ghiwala Human Resource Consultants in the category of Excellence in Overseas Placement, Middle East. May I request for the category Excellence in International School Education, Thane and beyond, inviting Ms. Mahika Balasubramaniam of NES Management from NES International School, Dombivli. All right, before we move further, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for all the achievers? May I request Sunil Darshan sir to kindly say a few words.
Education has also come into the world of cinema, and we have some remarkable institutions which are promoting, teaching, and guiding youngsters into the world of entertainment and media. This is one more big potential area for youngsters because they all get delighted and they're very interested in cinema, and I hope they take it forward to international heights.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And ladies and gentlemen, can we please hear it out for our two honorable guests? Priyadat ma'am, we are really honored to have your presence here with us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We have two more people to be felicitated out here. For Excellence in Engineering and Management Education, Thane and beyond, we would like to invite Ms. Devika Roy, Assistant Professor from KC College of Engineering and Management Studies and Research. Also, it's a pleasure to let you guys know that we have amongst us Mrs. Vrushali Kurade, finalist of Mrs. India Worldwide 2019. May I request Mrs. Vrushali to kindly come up on the stage.
It's a great initiative. This is the third year our school is receiving an award. I think at NES, we give personalized attention. We make our children think differently. We involve our parents a lot in our day-to-day working of the school and the administration part and the academics, basically. So that's what gives us an edge.
So Midday is one of the most renowned newspapers and get accreditation from them for school like us is a really huge model booster. We strive to make life of the students happier compared to others. We take it a little differently, so we have a spacious classroom so they can roam around. We have spacious areas so they can play. It's not only our focus is not only directed to education, it's the wholesome upbringing of the child.
Education is one of the core elements to what makes a society great, and also what helps a society change and innovate. And a lot of times the people who are behind the scenes nurturing young minds are not necessarily getting recognized. And I feel like what Midday has done by creating this excellence in education ceremony is fantastic.
The biggest dearth today is of trained professionals in the world of sports. What we have is very few institutes which are there in sports management, but they lack academic rigor, and they don't have a relevance in terms of industry. So what we are trying to do here is something which has a lot of rigor. It's very industry relevant. We do a lot of things there to make this program of international quality.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for a very, very special panel discussion that stems around a very interesting and pressing topic of our educational scenario. Are we fitting 20th century models in a 21st century environment? New contexts, digital environments that function as humanity in your pocket demand new approaches in education, specifically new habit of mind. And that's what this panel would be throwing light on. So kindly put your hands together for our esteemed panelists.
The topic of today's discussion is, what are we doing with the human capital? How are we molding minds which are young? What are the ways and the means that teachers need to now imbibe to make sure that we are relevant and we are bringing out the relevant human capital? If 21st century is going to be the century of knowledge, and Indian prowess of the mind is proven worldwide, do you think India will be highest ranking economy in the 21st century? Kezer, I want to start with you.
So education should be treated not like an expenditure, it's an investment. And that's primarily my first submission. I think the second thing, when you look at the model, what we are trying to do, I think India is in a transition. And therefore, this tension between what was and what is coming, or what is happening. So there's a little transition going on. So to my understanding, this transition is seeing a lot of pulls and tensions in there. So whether it is national curriculum, whether it's international curriculum, whether it is our friends' coaching area, pace, right? So I think we got to look at human capital as an investment. So how do you see that? I think the larger part is what kind of human beings we are turning out to have. So I think that's the larger picture.
Everywhere you'll find that Indian brain is the brain behind most of the companies and corporates that you have across the world. US has been wise enough to open their doors for talent and offer them a red carpet. When it comes to a bright child, they will give scholarship, they will relax all their norms and do everything to attract the talented people from across the globe. Our policymakers, our country needs to understand and address that. We are blessed with the best brains. Our people, our students, they work really hard. We need to nurture that, harness that energy and use it for our country. That is one. Second is, things have to be corrected right from the roots. Education today, to deliver quality, you have to be on the commercial side, but with technology coming into picture, I feel this nation will be definitely, education is the solution for all the problems are rooted in lack of education and lack of awareness. And once we correct things at the roots, we will have a perfect country. And this is all I feel we should be doing.
I think in this day and age, human capital, for the way I see it is, today's currency is intelligence. It's not just about how strong you are. Back in the old ages, it's about how good of a fighter you would be, your brute strength. But today's age is about intelligence, and intelligence is the new currency of the world. And I think for us as educators, is providing that exposure, that grooming, and that nurturing, how we expose our children to become critical thinkers, problem solvers, becoming more and more confident. But I think at the end of it, we want to ensure, at least for us as the Ryan schools, We want to see that every child is happy, because that, for me, is the measure of the human capital. If our kids are happy at what they learn, with what they learn to become what they want to be, that's the true potential in the human capital going forward.
India is clearly poised to be the knowledge leader in the near future, the way I look at it. The potential is huge. The circumstances are ideal. But I also see a little bit of a paradox in a certain sense. On one hand, we have some of the brightest minds globally. On the other hand, if you look at the corruption index in the world today, we are probably up there also among the top 10 or 20 corrupt nations. So where has the education system somewhere also failed? It has empowered students with knowledge. It has empowered them with skill sets. But have we given them the right identity is my question. If you don't give the right identity to the child, this kind of a paradox will continue to exist. Let me explain this a little further. Pause for a moment and think. Which are the three biggest industries, or maybe among the top 10 industries in the world today, including India? Among the top industries in the world today, arms and ammunition, drugs and alcohol, pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals means people are eating more medicines than food. These are products also of the education system. So what is the system addressing? And let me assure you, the way the plan exists today, these industries will continue to rule the roost for the next 25 years or 50 years easily when our grandchildren grow up. So the education system has to have an answer to this.
Thank you so much. And I think in one sentence, if I have to kind of conclude everybody's sentiment, it is India is problem-poked but full of hope. So with that, thank you so much, all the panelists and all the lovely audience. It was great conversing with all of you, and good night. Thank you.
Midday focuses and gets the best of education which is there. I believe we are the only academy which provide international certifications to our students. Today, my student is getting educated from EduGlobe School of Learning. Tomorrow, he wants to go abroad and search jobs. It's going to be very easy for them to go ahead with international certifications going on.
Dosti Foundation School is just 2 years old, and the Dosti group has set it up in the distant suburb of Shilfata, almost near Mumbai, with the sole idea of bringing quality education at affordable rates. And I can tell you this, that in a couple of years from now, we're going to change the educational face of Mumbai.
The most important thing about NIM is that we are one family, but what puts us above everybody else is that we can give the best placements and the best training perhaps in Asia and perhaps in the world in event management. You just go to a college and ask even a professor or a student. It's like, when you talk about chocolates, it's Cadbury's. When you talk about toothpaste, it's Colgate. When you talk about event management studies, it's NIM.